Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back again to Conspiracy Corner. My name is Doc Marquis, Vice President of Productions here at Southwest Prophecy Ministry. For the last couple of installments, we've been talking about giants on the face of the earth and showing you connections between the ancient giants, stone circles, and crop circles. This is part 4 of a 4-part installment, and I'm going to be taking you even further down, if you would, the rabbit hole, as they say, because we're going to be examining stone circles and crop circles. You know, what's the connection? Last week, we basically touched upon crop circles and some of the formations to show you this week something that really most folks have never looked at, an aspect, if you would, or an element relating to the ancient giants that were on the earth. Now, going with the connection, in our last installment of Conspiracy Corner, we found out that 95% of all crop formations happen around the Salisbury Plains in England. We also learned that not all crop formations are made equal, if you would. Certain types of crop formations receive incredible amounts of media coverage and things like that, whereas other crop formations are very rarely heard of, let alone ever seen. And it's this particular group of such rarely seen crop formations that will help in our understanding of the connection between crop circles and stone circles. Now, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a look at some famous some famous stone circles first. Briefly, I'm going to show you a number of these stone circles throughout the British Isles. The reason will shock you later on as we continue. Now, some of those stone circles are Stonehenge, without a doubt the most famous of all stone circles in the world. This next one, Avebury in Wiltshire. This one is more than a mile in circumference. Here we see the Rollright stone circle. This next one, Woodhenge. You can't tell by looking at it now, but this particular stone, this particular henge had used giant wooden columns instead of stone ones. Nowadays, as you can tell by this photo, stone markers have been laid out where the wooden columns used to stand. The Durrington Wall, approximately 2 miles away from Stonehenge, and recently it has been discovered that some sort of ritual path led from the Durrington Wall to Stonehenge. This next one, the Merry Maids in Cornwall. This is a stone circle made up of 19 stone pillars and such. This next one, Castlereagh Circle, is in Cumbria. This next one would be the Auchterardes recumbent stone circles near Aberdeenshire in Scotland. On the Isle of Lewis in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland is the Calendish Circle. And this last one would be the Swinside Circle in the Lake District in England. Now that we've gone through a number of stone circles, what about the crop formations? As I previously stated, not all crop circles are made equal. Certain crop circles are very rarely seen or heard of, and these are the ones we'll now focus our attention on. In this photo here, this first crop circle is known as a pentagram. In the occult world, this would be the oldest symbol in existence for one of the 2 original co-founders of witchcraft. His name was Nimrod. This next formation is the occult symbol known as a hexagram. This is the foulest and most evil of all occult symbols in existence. Nothing can touch it. You need to use this symbol if you're going to literally summon a demon to this plane of existence. This next crop formation combines from the top the crescent moon of Semiramis, the second co-founder of witchcraft, and the mother of Nimrod, with that of the pentagram. The bottom cross, with the circle above it, is the male symbol. On July 27, 2008, in Wiltshire, England, this goddess formation appeared. Above her head would be the Venus star, or the planet Venus, an ancient symbol used for the goddess, or who is also known as Semiramis. Here's an easy one. The phoenix bird crop formation. Going by Egyptian mythology, the phoenix bird was the symbol for reincarnation. Next would be the serpent crop formation. Biblically speaking, the serpent had mostly been used to denote Satan. This next crop formation, most folks outside of the occult realm wouldn't recognize. This symbol is known as the Kabbalistic tree of life. You don't need any occult training to recognize this crop formation of the pyramid with the sun behind it. And the most infamous of all occult symbols is the eye in the capstone, the notorious symbol for the Illuminati. And this was a crop formation. Why are hardcore occult symbols being made into crop formations? Remember, we've been told that crop formations are supposed to be definitive proof of alien activity. If this is so, then aren't aliens into witchcraft, Satanism, and Illuminism? Why else would they be making so many occult symbols? Unless, of course, aliens aren't responsible for crop formations. There's another, more reasonable explanation for such crop formations, and I will explain that shortly, but for now, let's move on. Let's take a look at the occult connection. When studying certain stone circles, something more is going on than most folks realize, and we're talking other than just giants that had built so many of those stone circles. We're talking something else. There was a different connection, but there was a direct connection between stone circles and the occult world. Now, let me show you the proof. Once again, here is Stonehenge, by far the most famous of all stone circles. However, next to Stonehenge and other such stone circles, occult symbols are being made. In this next photo, directly below Stonehenge is the occult symbol known as a hexagram. And if you'll recall, the hexagram is the foulest and most evil of all symbols in the occult world. Nothing could even come close to this one. You need this symbol if you're going to literally summon a demon to this plane of existence. And this crop formation, this occult symbol, is right next to Stonehenge, the stone circle. As you've already seen, this next photo in Avesbury-henge. Interesting enough, at the 10 o'clock position, you can readily see a crop formation. Directly below Avesbury is another crop formation. This one has a triangle with a circle around it. This is the occult symbol known as a thaumaturgical triangle. It is used by solo or lone practitioners in the occult to summon up a demon. Now, this is an extremely dangerous way in trying to summon a demon. However, a skilled enough occultist could do it. Once again, directly next to Avesbury is another crop formation which you know to be a hexagram. When you first look at this next crop formation, nothing immediately appears to be occultic in nature. However, when you look at this same photo and fill in the blanks, it becomes quite apparent that this symbol is made up of 3 sixes with a circle around it, or a 666. This is the same trick that they used for another symbol which I revealed in my DVD entitled Frontmen of the Illuminati. One of the symbols we had spoken about in that DVD was the one used by the Trilateral Commission. At first, nothing appears to be out of sorts. However, upon further examination, you can see how that logo is made up of 3 sixes, or another 666. There are other such occult symbols next to these stone circles, but there is one symbol that really stands out. In this next photo is the crop formation of Satan, or some demon. Most people believe this is supposed to represent Satan. It's one of those, however you want to interpret it, whether it's Satan or just a demon. The reason you'll find these occult symbols next to stone circles is because of what had originally gone on within those stone circles. Remember, those stone circles had a number of various functions. They were used as astronomical observatories. They served as temple complexes, and the rites of human sacrifice were being observed for around 1,800 years there. Now think of all the tens of millions of gallons of blood that had quite literally saturated the grounds on those stone circles where the ancient Druids were summoning up demons through human sacrifice rituals. In the occult world, that is considered to be sacred ground, and in such areas you can easily expect demonic activities to occur. It's for this reason that you will not only find crop formations being made, but specifically, it's for the same reason that you will find occult symbols being made through crop formations. The occult nature of the stone circles and the occult nature of those occult crop formations walk hand in hand. This is what is going on in those stone circles. Now, when we connect the dots, according to Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4, giants were the progeny of demons that had mated with female human beings. It was these same stone giants that built the majority of ancient stone circles, and because of ancient occult rituals of human sacrifice, that demonic beings were being summoned. The end result is that for about the last 40 years, around 10,000 crop formations have been made, and that many occult crop formations are being made right next to those ancient stone circles where demonic activities had been thriving for almost 2 millenniums during the apex of the Druids. In conclusion, I believe I have provided enough evidence to support my hypothesis that where stone circles are found, cultural stories of ancient giants residing in those same areas can also be found. Now, because of ancient occult rites of human sacrifice, not only are there around 10,000 crop formations that have been, recorded, but 95% of all of them can be found on the Salisbury Plains in England. And what's even stranger is that occult crop formations are being made at those stone circles where human sacrifice used to be performed by the ancient Druids for about 1,800 years. However, I am truly convinced, we haven't seen the last of these occult activities at these stone circles. I just honestly feel something else is going to be happening. But there is something else going on at these stone circles that can be found throughout the world. Another element that needs to be seen and proven that hasn't been seen yet. there's another element that really needs to be seen. And it is something dark, pervasive, and evil, which very few people have ever witnessed. Theologians have split theological gray hairs over this matter. Pastors have preached against it. Lay people at one time feared this. And now, most folks would think that this is just something out of Hollywood. What is this element, this last element, or this final proof that I'm talking about? In my hands are 2 DVDs which contain the actual proof of that missing element which I am speaking of. I have actual footage that will make most people cringe when they see this evidence. What is this missing element that will finally tie all of the unknown answers together? Next year, at the Marriott Hotel in Colorado Springs, Colorado, from July 15th to the 17th, will be the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference, being held by a sister ministry of ours, Prophecy Watchers. Gary Stearman and Bob Ulrich have gathered 25 of the top speakers in their fields for this first-of-a-kind international prophecy conference. And it will be at this conference that I shall reveal for the first time in public this missing element that will finally tie everything together we have spoken about in these last 4 mini DVDs. I guarantee you, for those who are in the audience when I present this exclusive, for Prophecy Watchers, you will hear nothing but gasps at first. Then, as I go along throughout the footage I'll be showing there, for the next 20 to 30 minutes, you will be able to hear a pin drop. And that's because such footage has never been seen by anyone ever since the first camera had been created approximately 200 years ago. Nothing like this, nothing genuine, such as I shall show for the first time at the Rocky Mountain International Prophecy Conference, has ever before been seen on film. And this footage will be put into a new DVD I am presently working on, which will only be released for the first time at that prophecy conference. This new DVD will be called "There Were Giants in the Earth," and will be DVD 16 in the Secrets of the Illuminati series. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, God bless and keep each of you good people out there.